Hello there, so this is a thing on what if in Hero of the Rails, if Percy did actually get the water injector for Hero. So this is technically an alternate timeline, but this is how I think it would have gone. So this is only going to be the only picture, so this is pretty much more of a listen thing. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So Thomas would be near Hero in the same place as he was in the movie, and he would pretty much assure Hero that Percy was coming soon. And just then Percy would come up alongside Hero's left, and Percy's driving fireman would exit him and install the water injector into Hero. Hero would be very excited that he would be able to finally move after a very, very long time. And he would thank Thomas and Percy, and then they would hear Spencer's whistle, and well, Thomas would tell Hero to get away. He's now completely repaired, so try and follow them. And Thomas and Percy would quickly rush out from Hero's hideout, and Hero would slowly puff out, but would be following close behind. Once they would be finally on the main line, Thomas and Percy would say, "Well done, Hero!" like in the movie, except Percy would be also saying it. And then Hero, instead of saying thank you, Thomas, he would of course just say thank you. But now this time, instead of Spencer coming on from a different track, he would come up behind Hero, and then switch onto the track, and then once they passed the track that Spencer originally came on into the movie, he would then switch onto that track because of a set of points. He would not notice Hero at first and come up beside Thomas. And pretty much this would be the chase scene, of course, like from the movie, except this time it's going to be quite different. Pretty much Spencer would say, "I have you now, Thomas," or something like that. Pretty much just the lines from the movie. But Thomas, instead of Thomas saying Spencer, he would say, "We have to run to Knapford." So Thomas and Percy would speed ahead of Spencer, and Hero would slowly but fastly come up behind Spencer and attempt to pass him. Spencer would look shocked at finally noticing Hero, seeing as the multicoloured mess that he would become, as he would say. And they would quickly take turns, and they would rush by Wellsworth, startling Edward, and he would realise that Hero is now being chased by Spencer, and would be very worried. As they reached Gordon's Hill, all four of them would rush up it quickly, and Thomas, Percy and Hero would shut off steam to quickly roll down the hill, and it would be about halfway down the hill Spencer would realise that what they were doing to get ahead of him, and he would also shut off steam to get down the hill and catch up to them. While he was not able to catch up to them, they did almost derail at the bend at the end of the hill, but they did eventually pretty much finish. Sorry about that. But then eventually they did turn on their steam again once they began to slow down. They were rushed by Titmuth station, startling Toby, and he was realised what was happening as well. And as they were nearing Titmuth sheds, Spencer would be pretty much right beside Hero's tender, and you would notice a set of points up ahead, except attempt to crash into Hero's tender to slow him down. But then Hero got ahead a bit, and they crossed the points, and Spencer didn't think about it. They would then rush by Titmuth sheds, and then Thomas and Percy would quickly take the turn, and then come in, and then be following into Knapford station. So Topham Hatt would see Thomas and Percy coming in, and was confused on why they were rushing in so fast. And then he would see Hero and Spencer take the turn, and he would notice Spencer, but he would not notice Hero, and would be wondering what Thomas, Percy and Spencer were doing with this blue, green, orange, purple, red, black engine. As Thomas would order Percy and Hero to brake, Thomas would brake and stop at the station, but Percy and Hero would brake too late, and Percy would bump into Thomas while Hero would bump into Percy. and Spencer was rolling into Knapford's grandly, and he's about to explain what had about Hiro, but then Thomas and Percy told Sir Topham Hatt what was actually going on, and Sir Topham Hatt would realise that this was the master of the railway Hiro, and the Duke and Duchess would come out from inside the station, and Thomas and Percy would explain to the Duke and Duchess what had happened. And the Duke and Duchess would order Spencer to head back to the mainland for the rest of the summer, and so Thomas and his friends and Hiro would finish off the summer house. And the Duke and Duchess would buy Hiro, and for many years Hiro would pull the goods, usually pull a lot of goods, usually going on trips with Spencer, and would also sometimes pull the Duke and Duchess, but not as much as Spencer would. However, but a couple of years after the chase, Hiro began to get a bit homesick and was miss all of his friends again. So Thomas told him to stay at the summer house, but Hiro would not be too sure what Thomas was trying to do, so he would follow him, going in reverse. As Hiro would reverse into Knapford and Thomas was going forwards into Knapford, Thomas was about to explain to the Duke and Duchess why Hiro was homesick, but Hiro told him that he was going to be able to explain it better, and so he explained that he was homesick and he wanted to go home to Japan. Now that he was under the ownership of the Duke and Duchess, they allowed him to go back to Japan, and so the next day, Salty, the main cast of course, Spencer, Victor and Kevin, who were on flatbeds, would be at at Rendam Docks. As Hiro would come in still in his multicoloured state because he did not get broken apart, Spencer would apologise for being rude to him, and Hiro would laugh after his apology and say that of course they could be friends. He would thank everyone for helping him be restored, and even the engines that didn't help him being restored, which was Spencer, Salty, Cranky, etc., they would still say, "You're welcome to Hiro." And then pretty much Thomas would say maybe he could come over and see him in Japan one day, and Hiro would say, "Well, I will be back one day," and then he would see him onto his ship, and that would be the end of the movie. So that's how I think the alternate ending would have gone. If Percy did get the water injector there in time, I think this could have changed a lot about the movie and make it a good ending without any really bad happening, which was the chase. But the chase did still happen though, and I feel like that would have happened anyway if Hiro did get the water injector or not. But I think they would have been able to rush over to Knapford. I think they would have rushed over to Knapford knowing Sir Topham Hatt was there to pretty much at that point to pretty much explain what was going on. And I think that's what would have happened. So I feel like this could have been a great alternate ending for Hero of the Rails DVD. It's maybe like an extra, or like you have two versions of the movie, the alternate ending which would be listed as an alternate ending, or the alternate ending would just be left on its own, and then it would be, and then we have the normal movie. I think this would have been a nice ending as well for an alternate ending on the DVD if it was on the DVD. But yeah, I think that's pretty. I think this was a pretty good alternate ending. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.